Angra Mainyu is often referred to as the destructive spirit. He is the embodiment of evilness and darkness in Zoroastrianism. He's also the eternal adversary of Ahura Mazda and the source of all evil, chaos, and suffering in the world. Angra Mainyu is depicted as a malevolent force that seeks to undermine the divine order and corrupt humanity. He tempts individuals to sin, incites hatred and violence, and brings about natural disasters and calamities. His influence is pervasive, and his power is constantly at odds with the forces of good. The eternal struggle between Ahura Mazda and Angra Mainyu is a central theme in Zoroastrian cosmology. This conflict is played out on both a cosmic and individual level, as individuals constantly face the choice between good and evil. The ultimate goal of Angra Mainyu is to destroy the world and plunge it into eternal darkness. However, Zoroastrianism teaches that Ahura Mazda will ultimately triumph over evil, and Angra Mainyu will be defeated. Angra Mainyu is locked in an eternal struggle with Ahura Mazda. This cosmic conflict is a central theme, shaping the worldview and ethical framework of the religion. As the eternal adversary of Ahura Mazda, Angra Mainyu seeks to undermine the divine order and corrupt the world. He is the source of all evil, chaos, and destruction, constantly working to thwart the plans of Ahura Mazda. Angra Mainyu's influence can be seen in the suffering and hardship that afflicts humanity. Natural disasters, disease, and moral corruption are all manifestations of his destructive power. However, Zoroastrians believe that by living a righteous life, individuals can resist the influence of Angra Mainyu and contribute to the ultimate triumph of good. The eternal struggle between Ahura Mazda and Angra Mainyu highlights the importance of moral choices. By choosing good thoughts, words, and deeds, individuals can align themselves with the forces of light and contribute to the cosmic battle against evil. Angra Mainyu is a master of deception and temptation, constantly seeking to lure humans away from the path of righteousness. He employs a variety of tactics to mislead and corrupt, exploiting human weaknesses and vulnerabilities. One of Angra Mainyu's primary strategies is to tempt individuals to indulge in sinful desires and passions. He may incite anger, greed, lust, and other negative emotions, leading people to make harmful choices. By clouding their judgment and weakening their resolve, Angra Mainyu can manipulate individuals into acting against their own best interests. He also seeks to undermine the social and moral fabric of society. He can incite conflict, spread discord, and promote injustice. By sowing seeds of doubt and fear, he can disrupt the harmony of communities and lead to suffering and despair. To resist the temptations of Angra Mainyu, Zoroastrians are encouraged to cultivate virtues such as honesty, compassion, and self-control. By living a righteous life and seeking the guidance of Ahura Mazda, individuals can overcome the influence of evil and align themselves with the forces of good. In Zoroastrian cosmology, the material world is often associated with Angra Mainyu. This is because the material world is seen as a realm of illusion, suffering, and impermanence. It's where the soul can become trapped and forget its true divine nature. The material world is perceived as a place of duality where both good and evil coexist, but it's also a place of temptation and distraction where individuals can be led astray from the path of righteousness. Angra Mainyu exploits the material desires and attachments of humans, leading them to prioritize worldly pleasures over spiritual growth. To overcome the limitations of the material world, Zoroastrians are encouraged to practice asceticism and self-discipline. By detaching themselves from material possessions and sensual pleasures, they can purify their souls and draw closer to the divine. Ultimately, the goal of Zoroastrian is to transcend the material world and attain spiritual liberation. By living a virtuous life and seeking divine guidance, individuals can escape the clutches of Angra Mainyu and reunite with the eternal light of Ahura Mazda. Even though Angra Mainyu is in constant opposition to Ahura Mazda, this eternal cosmic struggle between the force of light and darkness is central in Zoroastrianism. Ahura Mazda and his divine creations are constantly working to thwart the plans of Angra Mainyu and limit his influence. They strive to protect humanity from the destructive forces of evil and to guide individuals towards a righteous path. And the battle between good and evil is not just a cosmic conflict, it's a personal struggle for each individual. Humans are constantly faced with choices between good and evil, and their decisions impact the outcome of the cosmic war. By choosing righteousness, individuals can contribute to the triumph of good over evil. The ultimate goal of the forces of good is to defeat Angra Mainyu and usher in a final judgment. This is where the righteousness will be rewarded and the wicked punished. This belief in divine justice and the ultimate triumph of good provides hope and inspiration to Zoroastrians. Despite the constant struggle between Ahura Mazda and Angra Mainyu, the forces of light and righteousness will ultimately prevail. The final confrontation between Ahura Mazda and Angra Mainyu will result in a cosmic battle where the forces of evil will be vanquished. This final judgment will determine the fate of all souls, with the righteous rewarded with eternal bliss and the wicked punished for their sins. The belief in a final judgment and the ultimate victory of good over evil provides Zoroastrians with hope and solace. It assures them that their suffering in this world is temporary and that a glorious future awaits those who remain faithful to the divine. The concept of a final judgment and the triumph of good over evil has had a profound impact on the development of other religious traditions like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It's a testament to the enduring power of Zoroastrian thought and its influence on the human imagination. Angra Mainyu is often symbolized by darkness, decay, and disease. These symbols represent the destructive and corrupting influence of evil on the world. Darkness, as the antithesis of light, is a powerful symbol of Angra Mainyu. It represents ignorance, confusion, and the absence of divine guidance. Darkness can also symbolize moral corruption and spiritual decay. Decay and disease are further manifestations of Angra Mainyu's destructive power. They can be seen as physical and spiritual afflictions that undermine the health and well-being of individuals and societies. By understanding the symbolism associated with Angra Mainyu, Zoroastrians can better recognize and resist the forces of evil in their own lives. By embracing light, truth, and goodness, they can contribute to the triumph of good over evil and the ultimate restoration of the divine order. The Zoroastrian concept of a cosmic struggle between good and evil, as embodied by Ahura Mazda and Angra Mainyu, has a profound influence on various mythologies and religions throughout history. This dualistic worldview, where opposing forces contend for dominance, is a recurring theme in many cultural and religious traditions. One of the most notable influences of Zoroastrian dualism can be seen in Manichaeism, a religion founded by Mani in the 3rd century CE. Manichaeism shares many similarities with Zoroastrianism, including the belief in a cosmic struggle between good and evil, the concept of spiritual purity, and the importance of ethical living. The Zoroastrian concept of a final judgment where individuals will be rewarded or punished based on their actions has also influenced various religious traditions. The enduring legacy of Zoroastrian dualism can be seen in popular culture and mythology, and the battle between good and evil is a common theme in literature, film, and other forms of media. This enduring theme, rooted in Zoroastrian cosmology, continues to captivate and inspire audiences around the world. Zoroastrianism is a fundamentally dualistic religion, recognizing the existence of two opposing forces in the universe, good and evil. The dualistic worldview is embodied by Ahura Mazda, the supreme deity, and Angra Mainyu, the spirit of evil. The concept of moral dualism is central to Zoroastrian ethics. It emphasizes the importance of choosing between good and evil, righteousness and sin, and individuals are responsible for their own actions and will be judged accordingly. The dualistic nature of the universe is reflected in the constant struggle between the forces of light and darkness, and Ahura Mazda and Angra Mainyu are eternally opposed, and their conflict plays out on both a cosmic and individual level. By understanding the dualistic nature of the universe, Zoroastrians are able to make informed choices and live a virtuous life. They strive to align themselves with the forces of good and to resist the temptations of evil. Angra Mainyu is a complex and multifaceted figure. As the embodiment of evil and darkness, he plays a crucial role in the cosmic struggle between good and evil. His influence on human affairs is far-reaching, and his actions can lead to suffering, chaos, and moral decay. However, the ultimate triumph of good over evil is central to Zoroastrian belief, and Angra Mainyu's power will ultimately be vanquished. The concept of Angra Mainyu has had a profound impact on the development of other religious and philosophical traditions. His influence can be seen in various mythologies and religions, including Manichaeism, Gnosticism, and some forms of Christianity. The eternal struggle between good and evil has resonated with people across cultures and time periods, movies, music, TV, comics, video games as well. Despite the challenges posed by Angra Mainyu, Zoroastrians believe in the ultimate triumph of good, and by living a virtuous life, practicing good thoughts, good words, and good deeds, individuals can contribute to the cosmic battle against evil and help to bring about a world of peace and harmony. The legacy of Angra Mainyu continues to shape the spiritual and cultural landscape of the world. His presence serves as a reminder of the constant struggle between good and evil, inspiring individuals to strive for righteousness and to resist the temptations of darkness.